welcome back to another exciting episode of Into the Elements, a D&D 5th edition podcast that some friends of the nerdy niche like to put on for you guys every week. I'm Edison. I'll be your dungeon master this evening. Say hi, everybody else.
Hi, everybody else.
So sorry it's been a while since we've been able to hop on. Crazy end of the year, beginning of the year, but we are hopefully back on track now.
Yes.
And so tonight, instead of having one of our wonderful characters do the recap, I will go ahead and just kind of recap you back in. The last time our wonderful adventurers were traveling the lands, trying to finally get to the city of Sheercliff. They have finally arrived in Sheercliff, a decent-sized city on top of a cliff face that shears off both sides, with pulley systems coming up all over the place. There is a dock city down below that's part of it all. The center of the whole city is a giant lighthouse that draws the eye and the attention of everyone to this city. With arriving, our friends immediately sought out a place to stay and get a drink, and they managed to find the Cliffs Respite, a neat little bar that went into the side of the cliff, and they met a Aarakocra there, an owl-like figure. His name is Quibble, and they had a good time with him, then decided to do some exciting shopping and went around to the Fog Secrets, grabbed some supplies, including a whole bunch of plushies to play a little bit of a prank and maybe a gift in the future. With all that, they finally got rest, bathed, and ready to meet a new friend and potential ally, Abe, who they were out to seek. The next day, after resting, they went out to his house, met him there, an odd figure, a drow-like figure. It seemed a little nuts. A character joining us for the next couple episodes or so, Levi, our special guest here.
Special guest.
Yep. After a brief conversation about coming to find him, about searching out these artifacts, they brought up a mirror, which drew his attention immediately, a mirror that they have been dealing with for some time now, that seems to have an evil entity within the Twilight Shadow, as he refers to himself as. And after a quick discussion, they decided to put it inside a magical hut to hopefully prevent it from getting out, and doing it in the safest way possible. Ettenbror cast a protection from evil and good on Abe before he was able to touch it. When he did touch it, he cast the Identify spell. That is where we left off last time. And this time, we will peer back into the elements.
Woohoo!
Woohoo!
Good to be back, everybody. Let's do this.
Yep.
Yeah.
I think we're all a little excited, a little nervous. Let's get going. So, Levi Abe, with casting that spell, you reached out, touched it, and got a rush of information back.
Okay.
This is very magical, and there are a couple magical elements happening here as soon as you touch it. The first thing you get is the name of the item, and that is... Where did that go?
Was everyone inside the tiny hut, or was there people outside of it still?
You were all inside. Okay. So it is known as the Twilight's Reach. It is a window to. Sorry about that. It is a window to the plane known as the Endless Reflection. It can be communicated through from both sides, and it used to be a portal between the two planes of existence. It is no longer, and one of the other magical auras emanating from it is a very powerful divine magic that has severed the connection and is still preventing it from repairing itself. The school of magic that emanates from the mirror itself is a conjuration magic, and the other spell that's affecting it, that's preventing it from being a portal, is a incredibly strong abjuration magic. So that is what you gather from your identify spell.
Okay. As I pull my hand back, I'm going to seem a bit shocked and a little horrified for a moment. And then I will state to my new companions, it's a very good thing that you brought this to me. It is a very powerful elvish device that really only those with some sort of elvish blood should be in contact with. I can definitely keep a hold of this for you and keep it safe. On the bright side, right now, as long as there's an elf within 100 feet of it, nothing can pass through it.
I am immediately concerned by this statement.
Yeah, I wanted to try to see if he's lying.
Okay. Both Pal and Kel give me insight checks.
Okay.
I would ask.
And Abe, give me either a deception or a persuasion check, whatever you feel is right for this.
As they're like checking him out up and down, I go, would it be best to destroy it? And do you know of a way?
I got an 11.
Yeah, in true like kicking off the second sort of chapter of this show, I rolled a natural 1, so 6 total. You are just an up and up guy, man.
At least it wasn't
totally on the level.
So he's being very convincing. It's good that it's in the hands of an elf now, and you feel pretty confident in his keen eye.
And I'm sorry, somebody asked me a question, I believe.
Yeah, I was asking if it would be best to destroy it, and if so, would you know of a way?
At that point, I will say there are some powerful magics behind this item. There is a elvish divine emissary of sorts between the planes, preventing it from causing cataclysmic plane-altering things. So I don't think destruction would be a good idea. Perhaps just preservation until we at least further understand what it is, because there still could be some possible good uses for this. It used to be a way to communicate and may still have that. In fact, maybe it's spoken to some of you at some point. I'm not sure, but if it has, that's one of the lingering effects from this ancient elvish land.
Yeah, it got to speak to some of you. I mean, I wanted to talk to it. No one wanted to let me.
It's for the best.
It didn't feel super elvish.
Yeah, and for like the fact, especially with like how I interacted with the creature trapped inside the mirror, just based on like my notes and what I remember from that interaction, Kel very much was like, I don't know, maybe I'll release this creature from the mirror. It seems kind of sketchy, but also they weren't like immediately hating this creature. I'm not sure how I would feel about even like thinking that he's on the up and up with like an elf creature handling the mirror.
Oh, hold on. I will intervene and say that what you may have communicated with may have not been elven at all. It's just the being that's protecting this, that's keeping things from the other plane from entering this one and allowing the mirror to be a two-way portal is of elvish kind.
Okay.
And it did feel, I will say, with your interactions, it felt very fey from anything that you've dealt with, which a lot of times is associated with elves.
Yeah, okay.
Well,
So however you want to take that. Also, with touching the mirror, how we kind of talked about it last time, the mirror itself was still covered and you touched the handle to do the identify spell. Were you going to look at it now? What's kind
Not
of the
at
plan?
this time. No, I think I've gained enough information on it currently that I would like to tuck it away for further research at a later date. Perhaps when I'm not surrounded by beings.
what do you suppose is your plan to preserve?
I'll wrap it up and keep it in one of my vaults in my house if I need to.
Fair.
I don't.
I make another check on like giving him this mirror. I just don't feel great about
Yeah,
giving him
me.
this mirror.
I don't want it, but I also feel weird about this exchange.
Do I pick up on their hesitation to give me the mirror?
Yeah, you would. But also the two of you can give me another insight check if
Okay.
you want.
Along with like my hesitation, I would like to say to Abe, just we don't know you very well, and it's not that I don't necessarily trust you, but we have been handling this mirror for a while, and I am hesitant to.
Oh, absolutely. I understand 100%. I would not simply take an object from you without the appropriate compensation. I understand that you are likely looking to get on an airship. I would happily pay for the boarding fee for all of your group because I am a collector of these items. I will happily pay for your airfare.
I'm concerned about the what you plan to do with this mirror.
I got a natural 20 for a 24.
Let me roll.
Still one shy.
It's like 15.
15.
So
I want to lean over to Edinburgh and go, what's the fair market price for a haunted mirror?
I can't say I've been in the market too much.
Well, you've all been in my home. You realize I collect oddities. So, I mean, this is just another minor thing. I've got worse stuff downstairs you should see this book I found a few years ago. Don't open it. Don't talk to it. But it's pretty cool.
Well,
Dude,
see,
I should see it. I should see it. Let's do that.
So we did encounter this hag who did have an investment in the creature that is potentially in the mirror.
Yeah.
Oh.
I do have a hesitation.
Who is this hag?
What was her name?
She was.
Auntie.
We knew what kind she was, right?
Sweet something, right?
Nancy Sweet Crumble.
Yes, that one.
She gave us a present.
She did. But also had potentially a relationship with the creature in the mirror, which was a little bit sketchy.
Okay. To answer those insight rolls, Kel, you're still feeling a bit apprehensive. Thule, with traveling with Sonora for so long. The interactions that you've had with her, she's very honest and careful, and she seems to be careful who she goes along with. So the fact that she was bringing you here to begin with is a fair judge of character. He is odd, but he does seem to have a lot of magical items. He had a very good idea for containment immediately. This isn't the worst idea that you've heard so far.
Okay.
I don't know. I don't trust people that also know me.
Have you ever had anybody try to break into your house for any of your items?
Yes.
And what happened, may I ask?
No.
Can I insight check that?
Sure.
All the inside checks.
Kind of reading
All
out,
the insight checks on Abe.
Insight checks all the way through the
not
episode.
necessarily like to pick out like exactly what happened, but to tell if it was like dealt with nicely or not.
I would like to kind of reach out a hand. I'm not quite about to grab it from him, but I am kind of wanting to take the mirror back.
It's a 18.
Just like, I think this might be safer with us.
I guess what I'm inciting with that is just more like, was it malicious kind of thing?
With his no,
Yeah.
for asking.
After asking, well, when I asked him if I could ask how it happened and the way he said it too, did it feel like it was some kind of malicious action or just shut up, stop talking kind of thing?
I think it was I'll let Levi speak for Abe on that since you got a decent roll.
It was definitely a redirect.
Okay, got it. Okay.
But I am noticing nobody seems to trust me, and that's fine. I will just simply say that. I'll back up, both my hands up, and say, I realize you are new here. You don't know me from Adam. How about this? I believe we've sort of discussed where you're planning on going, and it might be a place that I also need to go. So how about we just bring the mirror with us? But I have a condition that if you learn through traveling with me that I am somewhat trustworthy, that let me keep the mirror afterward, as well as a few other things that we may come across. I know that you're primarily after the stones, and I'm not interested. But there's some other things around them that I may be. I'm a collector.
Levi, how tall is your character? Just curious.
That's a good question.
You said 5'10", 5'11" last time.
Right.
Okay, so you're like a good foot taller than me. Kel is gonna puff up their chest and just kind of look at you and like cross their arms. This tiny bird. I'm just gonna go. That seems like a fair exchange.
And I'll come up behind her. I'm 7 foot tall, and I'm gonna say, "Yeah, what she said."
They.
I'm
gonna say,
never gonna get better at it. All right,
forgive us. It's not
what they said.
I say, please forgive us. It's nothing against you. It's just it's kind of hard to trust people in these lands, as I'm sure you know.
I would like to point out, and I'm realizing it now, I can't put that back where I just got it from until tomorrow.
I would like to slowly turn my head and stare at Julie, slightly concerned about the situation.
I can only go in once a day.
In my look, Julie, also, it's just like that shared experience of the nightmare that we shared.
Yeah.
Like,
Doesn't
someone else should hold the mirror?
Doesn't the circle sit around for a while though? Can't we just leave it in the circle until we can put it back in the lantern?
It does. It lasts for 8 hours.
or we just let, like Sonora said, we let an elf hold on to it. As long as it's, within our range, I feel very comfortable with that concept.
As long as no one is messing with it too.
And there's no way it can be
I don't
broken.
look into it or anything.
It is still, I think, in the pillow or smushed up against the pillow.
Let's keep it nice and safe and soft.
So no one's holding it at the moment?
I
It was still in the bag, I thought, right?
well,
It's wherever he put it to do the identify.
I think I was holding it on the pillow, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you still have it on the pillow.
Yeah, so I still have it on / in the pillow.
Give me a perception check. Yes.
Oh, okay. No. Perception 9.
9. Okay. For a second, you thought you heard something, but you're not sure.
I'm just gonna like hold my arms out and like push my body back.
Do you notice this?
I'm not being subtle about it.
Edinburgh would say,
Is this? I would like to put my hands also under the pillow just to make sure that the mirror does not fall.
this feels demonic or devilish in any means. Maybe it may help put you guys at ease if we were to use some holy water around it. I have some from my days as a priest. So
I could also purify some water if we needed to.
Ed, how much experience would I have with like the like Edinburgh's priest stuff from my time in the strike force?
Like his specifically?
Yeah. Like, would I trust the holiness of that, or were we kind of more just like military based with less religion in the strike force?
So you didn't work with him too much, but you do know that he was always a field medic.
Okay.
Anytime he was out in a battle, and that was the one thing he was always praised for. Really the only thing he was ever praised for from anybody else, because of the shadow of his big brother. So, and Edinburgh is not one to tell a lie or to be too overconfident, if that makes sense.
Okay. Then I would just kind of look at him and go, you know what? The holy water can't hurt.
So I started digging through my bag to find my priest pouch.
Yeah, I'll do the same.
Right.
Yeah, surely the worst it can do is nothing.
Yeah.
Really, it's sprinkle the bag it's in.
I'm gonna say I feel like this is the best time to bring up that I'm actually an Oath of the Watchers paladin, and interplanar stuff is actually what I do. I kind of just thought of that.
Oh yeah,
that would be useful a while ago.
Probably, but I do remember I do remember that that's what I'm supposed to do.
So if you're standing right behind me, I would just like turn 180 on my heel and look at you and go, "You couldn't have brought this up sooner."
I coulda, but I also want to see the stuff in this dude's basement a lot more.
Okay, well, why don't you take the mirror until we can safely put it back in Thuli's lantern?
So so do we want to give the mirror to him?
I think that
I was asking if you wanted to take
me.
it. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think I really believe that the elf thing that he was saying. So I think dude here probably has the best chance of holding on to it. Because I don't know if you guys know this, I'm not an elf.
I will defer to you, Al, on this decision.
As a group leader, I will allow you to hold on to the mirror in your archive of really cool stuff, but you have to show me a lot more cool stuff.
You can keep the pillow. I've got more.
Okay. Well, let's for now, because I'm a little uncertain about certain elements of this mirror, I'm going to leave it in the hut. So we can walk out of the hut and spend time in my house for a little while if you like, but we'll just leave it isolated in here.
Yeah, and I did sprinkle the bag it's in too, so
Yeah.
double protection.
Pillow's gonna be
When you
right here.
for when you sprinkled the bag, give me a perception check, Attenborough.
Okay. That's a dirty 20.
Okay. As you sprinkle the bag, you hear something come from the pillowcase, not a bag. You hear kind of soft voice that says, "What is this magic I taste?"
I'm trying really hard not to drop the pillow.
Is he the only one that hears that, or we all hear it?
Ettenborough hears it while he's
Okay.
doing that.
I would just say out loud, not necessarily to it. I've faced many an evil up to now. Do not scare me.
Are you holy?
I'm just gonna leave it at that. I won't answer it again.
Dude, is it talking to you? Is it talking to you? Ask it what it looks like.
Just trying.
I can tell you what it looks like. It's not pretty.
When you say that, you then hear a voice that says, "You want to look and look."
Do I just have to touch it?
It's in a pillowcase. You're just hearing this coming from it.
I'm going to look over at Kel and see what look is on their face. If I'm gonna be like, he wants me to touch it.
Do you say he wants me to touch it?
Yeah.
My eyes go wide and I just go, no, 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 no.
Yeah, I'll probably step between Pal and the pillow.
Don't do it, pal. Do not do it. It is not worth it. I can guarantee you. You will see the darkness you never wanted to see. It will
All right.
snuff out the light. You will not be able to make the pal pups anymore.
There better be some other stuff that I can touch that's going to be really cool in this dude's basement.
I'm sure there's other things you can touch that is much cooler than this mirror.
If he's willing to.
This creature is not something to mess with. Please don't. You do not need to feel this nightmare that Tuli and I have experienced.
We didn't exactly show him trust to handle the artifact. We can't expect him to trust us enough to handle the multiple artifacts in his basement.
We said we would give it to him. I even said he could keep the pillow.
I just don't know him very well. I feel very concerned about this creature and this artifact and just handing him off to a random stranger.
I don't want to hold this anymore.
But if Sonora vouches for him, then I trust him. Because
it's interesting to me that you're all speaking about me like I'm not right here. But anyway, I'm going to leave the hut and get some food.
I would simply.
And I'm going to walk out at that point.
I'm going to follow you out. I'm like, you said the magic word, bro. Food.
I follow him and I like fluff my feathers in extreme embarrassment. And I'm just like, I'm so sorry, Abe. I did not mean to speak about you as if you weren't here. It's just, I was very ruffled by my experience with this mirror.
Tuli, I would offer.
I would ask Kel why it would be safer in our hands if it could harm us.
I don't necessarily know that it will harm us unless we release the creature. I am reluctant to let it out of our care because I am concerned about the creature that is kept within it. And I feel that as long as we can see it, then at least we know where it is.
I'm going to place like get down, place the pillow on the ground, and like tie the pillowcase closed a couple of times.
And as I'm speaking and saying this to Sonora, I also like look at Abe and I just go, it's not necessarily that I think it would be worse in your care. It's just that I don't really know you yet, and I'm not ready to entrust it to someone where I don't know what will happen to it.
I will keep the item very close to my heart and keep it safe. I promise. In fact, I already have a plan for how to keep this near us. I'm going to go to my workshop, grab a sandwich, and you guys have free roam of my house. Be careful what you touch. Don't get anywhere near the ravens. And there is a box. It's behind a bookshelf in the basement. It's got like 4 or 5 locks on it. Don't open it. Other than that,
I immediately look at Pal as he says that and go, listen to him now.
But what's in it?
Abe Dong.
I'm just gonna go start looking at stuff.
I'm gonna leave Squall to like do circles around the pillow.
I'm gonna follow Pal and make sure he doesn't touch anything he shouldn't.
Okay. So as Pal is looking around, Abe, is anything trapped?
is anything trapped?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Pal, give me an investigation check.
I haven't looked at it in a while, but I am sure I am super good at this. I think we got this, guys.
Can I also do one to like preemptively keep him from setting off any traps?
Sure. Yep.
Most of the traps are prevention from getting in, but yes, like there's a few things here and there. Most of it's just minor illusion stuff, though.
All right.
I got a 14 investigation.
I rolled a 13.
Okay. Everything seems fine. Nothing seems trapped.
Great.
So, little sideboard there, DM. I want to, as soon as I leave the hut, I want to go start collecting some of my adventuring gear, including my leather hauberk, or my leather piece, and I want to immediately get to work. My idea is to carry the mirror on my chest covered, that I can pull the sheet off of it at any time with the mirror facing out.
Okay.
I have no idea what this thing really can do, but it's like a Medusa style thing. That's my thought for carrying it while we're adventuring.
Okay. Easy enough to do for you, but give me a dexterity check. Either dexterity or intelligence. I'll let you do for this one. Because it's either how well you put it together or how well the design is.
22.
22. Was that on dex or
dex check?
Dex check. Okay. Yep. It seems like it would hold very well. It would even conceal it well enough so it doesn't look like you even have anything there. You kind of are able to make it fit into your, like, you have leather armor?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're able to fit it in, so it's just kind of part of it, but it's also, with how well you did it, the padding for your leather armor should protect it, even if you get hit.
And I want to be able to just kind of unlatch it at will. Yeah. Okay.
Yep.
Walking around with the mirror all like Flavor Flav clock style. Like.
Yeah. I'll just be like, behold.
Excellent rapper bling you got going on.
Are you currently fastening this to yourself?
No, the mirror's in the hut. I'm just making the armor downstairs so that I can eventually secure it in there.
Right.
You guys wander aimlessly through my home. I would also like to look around my house to see if I have any information on the endless reflection. I don't actually know what I'm playing with.
Yeah, give me either a history check or an Arcana check.
8 on
8.
Arcana.
You've never heard of it before.
Okay. So I am just going to go with the idea that the plane of endless reflection is a plane full of mirrors and like narcissistic beings that get trapped in like staring at themselves in an evil, horrible way. And that's the theory I'm going to run with.
So
You're not supposed to give away my entire plot.
have I actually have I at any time heard of the name of the plane? Has he actually mentioned it?
I didn't mention it.
Okay.
Nope.
Can't do a history check on something I haven't heard.
I'm just gonna like sit politely in the same place where we had tea.
Yes, Nora, where are you right now?
I'm gonna join Tule and just sit politely and not snoop around.
And probably sit down there too and ask a few questions.
So, Abe, with your traps that are illusion based, do you have a plan for them, or do you want me to just run with it?
You can just run with it.
Okay.
They're mostly probably things that I've picked up on the way, and maybe a few that I've had some friends put together. But
so, you're going around, pal, looking at all these strange artifacts. There's skulls and different weird objects.
What is
little
the
pyramids
shiniest
and things. You see something that seems really shiny, and like it almost looks like a like fancy hourglass, but it's in a in like a case. There's a case with a few things in it, and that's one of the things in the case, and it has a simple just like latch on it.
Is the latch just unlocked?
It looks to be. You could just flip the latch.
I'm gonna like look over at Kel and undo the latch.
As he's about to reach over, do I notice anything about this latch?
Give me a perception check at disadvantage because he's doing it pretty quick.
Okay. Well, perception is going to be, that's an 18 at disadvantage.
Nice. It appears to be a just normal latch to just keep the doors closed because it's 2 doors and there's a latch on it. It seems fine until the second he starts to flip it. Right when he flips it, you see a little magical glint happen. And right when that happens, he flips it up, the doors flip open, and you see this kind of horrifying dead face of an old man, and it just goes, "Mind your own goddamn business."
As that starts, can I just like throw myself at Pal to try to push him out of the way?
Do I hear that?
You're gonna try to push me out of the way?
You definitely hear that.
All right, I'll chuckle to myself and start walking over to them. And as I start walking over there, I'll be like, now, Albert, I told them they could look at whatever they wanted to.
You just hear a fucking god damn it.
Yeah, Albert.
Pal, give me a wisdom saving throw from this like immediate.
I assume I'm like burrowed in Pal's like chest at this point as I'm trying to push him.
Yeah. Give me a strength check.
Oh, that's not gonna do anything. Oh, I rolled a 19.
So I rolled a 16 on the wisdom.
Okay. It didn't quite startle you. It got you a little bit, but the real thing that got you, and now make a strength saving throw.
Let's see. Oh, That's 13.
13?
Yeah.
But yours was a 19?
I rolled a
Yeah.
19.
For the first time, Cal lays you flat. Just, they come out of nowhere as you open this and just tackle you straight flat to the floor. Abe, you're walking back as this happens.
After I hit the floor, I'm gonna go. That was a really good tackle.
I just go, thanks, I've been practicing. So it seems that this was not the danger that I thought it was. I just had to crawl off of you.
You hear in the corner just cackle laughing as the two ravens just start going. And then one of them goes, "The fatty fell! The fatty fell!"
I'm just going to stand over them with a brief look of judgment, and then I'm going to, well, it seems you've, yeah. Anyway, be careful. And then I'm going to go back to what I was doing.
If an Aarakocra could blush, I'm doing the equivalent of that.
And as I'm walking away, I'll be like, there are bedrooms here too, if that's your thing. But I'm just.
Pal is going to grab and hug Kel. And go, oh, you do care. Look at you. You care about me. I'm going to give them a little noogie.
And they are full feather fluffed, embarrassed, and like wiggle out of his grip. And I'm gonna just like book it over to Sonora and Thule and just settle myself down on a chair.
It's safer here.
Yes.
All right. I won't touch anything else, but I will walk around and look at stuff. And as I do, I'm going to talk to Albert. I was like, oh, what's this thing, Albert? Come on, talk to me now. What is this thing? How does this work?
You get no response at all the whole time.
I'll just keep talking to him.
Whenever, if I'm kind of bored during the course of this, like stitching my stuff together, and I hear him asking questions, every once in a while, I'm going to use prestidigitation and respond to him in Albert's voice.
Perfect.
I'll just sit and talk to myself, man.
Any questions you're going to ask then, since he has a response for you?
I'm just going to ask him what everything does, where it came from, what it is, like every single question in detail about the history of everything.
All right. At one point, he gets to a large, seems to be bright silver rounded object that's hanging on the wall. And when he asks about that one, I will suggest that it is a magical drinking horn, that the person who drinks from it will be blessed in ways beyond mankind's best knowledge.
Hey, Attenborough.
Yes.
You should come drink this thing.
Why?
Because he says it'll give you powers.
I already have powers.
but like cool powers.
What are you trying to say?
I don't know. I'm just saying, come and drink from it. I dare you.
I'll come down and look up at it.
So it's about a 8 to 12 inches long. It's kind of rounded and silver, and it's concave in the back. Looks as if the inside of it's kind of hollowed out, but it's kind of just hanging against the wall.
Didn't he say not to touch anything?
No, he said not to touch one thing.
Oh. Well, I'm not going to touch that.
All of you. Nobody takes any risks around here.
Have at it if you want it, though. I'll watch.
I've had enough of risks.
I'm here.
No.
You need it.
The rest of the party wouldn't want me to touch stuff. I'll just go sit down and start playing on my guitar
I'm
and
proud
singing. I can't touch things because nobody wants me to.
of
Because then I just kind of reach over and pat his shoulder.
So how far are you from that scene there, Abe?
Probably just down the hall. I'm kind of working in my little workshop area.
Okay. After he makes his way back up to sit with everyone, I'd probably come down and kind of and join you down there and say, so what is it you know about these stones that we're looking for?
Little and a lot.
Very vague and cryptic.
Yes. If you really want to study them more, though, I suggest, like, I have some basic information. I've kind of researched a little bit of this before you guys got here, which is why Sonora knew so much about what she did. But if you want to know more, you may want to go over to Olean Spire, the archives. They may be able to help you there. I was not able to find as much as I like. Generally, these things are pretty ancient, and the stories have changed so many times, it's somewhat hard to decipher what's accurate and what's just hearsay and what's legend.
Okay.
Which is, I think, why they seem to have so much importance to some kingdoms.
Why is it that you think that there's certain items you would have interest around them?
Because of the age of these items and the chances of when they were stored away. There's a couple of things in particular that I've been kind of looking for most of my life that I don't know that I'll find those items, but I might find leads to where those might be.
If you aid us, I'm sure we can aid you. Sonora trusts you. We trust you as well.
I'm glad that you trust me. Thank you.
I'm learning to. It's not exactly easy for me to just trust it right away, but the other part I was going to ask about was, so if this information is so difficult to learn, is there any societies that you could think of that maybe have an easier time discovering these things and being able to pinpoint where each of them are?
Well, I have a pretty good idea of where one of them currently is, but you're not going to like it.
I don't like much, to be fair.
So, there's some islands about 2 to 3 days travel by airship from here. I think there's probably one there. There's an ancient ruin of a Colosseum and some things that a lot of us archaeologists would like to discover. There's just a couple of small hurdles to getting there.
Hurdles?
Yeah, namely the tribe of Goliaths that control half the island, but they're okay. They're actually pretty decent folk. But there's also, well, how do you feel about hobgoblins?
Indifferent.
Okay. Indifferent as in dead or alive, don't really care.
Yeah, exactly.
So you have a certain moral fluctuation ability. They're amicable to, say, violence and disorder and bloodshed and murder.
I would say that if they were to stand in the way of me and my people, then let the blood flow.
Well, then the army at the ruins, if you can clear them, we could probably maybe find the stone in the ruins of the Colosseum.
Let's come back to these Goliaths you speak of.
Mm-hmm.
Do you happen to know the name of the tribe?
Yes.
What would it be?
Does the word Thalar mean anything to you?
Does it, Edison?
So Falar is the name of the city that they live in.
Was my like
give me a history check.
okay?
Is this conversation happening where all of us are?
No.
Okay.
History is +0, 16.
16. You haven't heard of that at all.
Okay. Cool. I suppose it doesn't.
Well, I don't have much more than that other than the Goliaths have kind of settled this island. I believe they had control of the whole island, but the hobgoblins have become a bit of a
Nuisance.
yeah, I mean, they're just hobgoblins. They're just doing hobgoblin things.
Okay.
It's accurate.
We may have an ally in the Goliaths, unless
Yeah.
I've had previous experiences with them that would say otherwise.
Also, for you, Levi, he is a Goliath as well. Adam is. Edinburgh is. Yeah.
It's possible, or we could be strung up and belayed for all to see, depending on what kind of tribe we're dealing with.
How big is your character, Adam?
I'm like right about the same height as you. Actually, I'm kind of a runt of the litter.
Okay.
I'm just under 6 feet.
Okay. So I'm going out of bounds here, Ed, so you can correct this if it needs to. But the item that I was describing that's hanging on the wall, it was something that I had bought from a traveler that had been to the islands, and it was rumored to be the one of their great warrior of the Goliaths who had fallen in battle. It's his codpiece.
Perfect.
So I thought maybe we could take that back to the island for trade, and I was thinking I would give it to my new friendly Goliath here to
Peace offering?
yeah.
Sure. Do we want to try that?
Okay.
So
Give
I will just
me.
explain to him that it's an ancient warrior. It's the remains of a piece of armor from an ancient warrior.
Okay. Would I know what it is looking at it?
Give me a history check to see if you know this type of armor.
16.
I mean, imagine we'd be pretty familiar with armor, but
Yeah. And cod.
It's a different style.
Okay. So I wouldn't really know for sure that that's what it is.
What did you roll? I didn't hear your roll.
Oh, a 16.
16.
Yeah.
You would. It takes you a minute, but you're kind of looking at it for a minute. You're like, is this just like a shoulder? No. Oh, okay.
So after I realize what it is too, let's say, well, I suppose it's good that he didn't drink out of it. But it may serve us beneficial once we make it to the island.
That's a fantastic piece, but honestly, it kind of smells up the place. So yeah,
Yeah, if it's
I'm
a
kind of happy to get rid of it.
warrior, it would kind of linger.
Musty.
Disgusting.
Well,
Oh, why is it sticky?
So the hobgoblins have basically taken over the ruins that you think that may be beneficial for us to look
Yes, it's an ancient Colosseum. I don't have a whole lot of information on when or who or why the Colosseum was there. I mean, when you get back so far in history, it starts to get muddled. But yeah, there's a really ancient ruin there, but unfortunately the hobgoblins have kind of, it's not that so there's so much using the area, they're just there. So that it might take some doing to get into where we need to go. assuming your companions are okay with me coming along, or if you guys just like to go along on your own, that's fine. I've just got a list of things to look for, and
Barrier and the fact that you know these lands that we're going to be heading towards so
I
well.
don't know the lands very well. I have not been to that island.
Oh, well, you know of them better than we do, I suppose.
That's the nice thing of living where I do. I hear a lot of tales.
Okay.
But finding out if they're true or not is half the fun.
Suppose that's why you got into archaeology.
Yeah, dirt's exciting, but there's other things that are more exciting.
Yeah, I can't say dirt is one of the ones on the top of my list for excitement. Though I suppose he was really disappointed that he didn't get a drink out of this horn. And he thinks about it for a minute. And he's like, no, put it away. Well, Abe, one last question for you.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to join us. How efficient are you on the battlefield, and what's your form of combat?
I am world renowned at my ability to avoid conflict.
Lovely. I can't say the same for me. I tend to be right on the front lines of conflict.
But at that point, I will kind of lift the side of my cloak sideways and let him see the hilt of my crossbow that's always at my side.
Okay.
But I can do a thing or two.
Awesome. Well, welcome to the team, Abe.
About the name.
Yeah.
I mean, did you all decide that? Because I think I'd rather just be a friend of the team. I don't really want to be on the team. Is that okay? I mean, a lot of the best stories are usually like so and so and the so and so's. I'd rather be. Get what I'm saying?
Guess we'll leave that to the rest of the team.
All right.
You could be an honorary member.
We don't need to. No. I'll just follow along. How's that? Let's just keep that separate.
Okay. Well, we'll start here and we'll figure it out later.
As you guys rejoin everybody else, Pal is singing a song. Abe, the mysterious elf, is the newest member of the team. I don't know what he does yet, but he's really cool and mysterious, and we're gonna find out.
As Abe is coming back in to join everyone else, I go, "Hey, so I heard you're part of the team now.
Welcome to the Strike Force."
Actually, guys,
I'm just gonna look at the Ravens and say, "Don't judge me."
Powerpuff Strike Force! Fuck yeah!
Actually, guys, it's Abe and the Powerpuff Strike Force.
We could add another descriptor, like the Dark Palpuff Strike Force. How does that sound, Abe?
Or
like something you get after eating a rotten pastry.
That seems about right.
Yeah.
Mysterious Palpuff Strike Force.
Shall we try to acquire travel at this point, or
you said you could get us on an airship?
Well, yes. There's tickets available.
I remember something about you buying us tickets on an airship.
That was assuming you were giving me an item, which you chose not to give to me.
Yes. How frequently do the airships leave town?
They They leave regularly, but there's some that will dock for a while. It's just there's some that are cargo ones that are going in and out. There are some that are leisure ones that go out daily and don't go too far. There,
The next one that we could use that would be leaving.
so Abe, you would know of one, and you do know that it is still in town right now, and that's the Moonrise.
I've spoken to one person about the ruins. I don't know where everyone else thinks they're going.
I was going to ask if we had chosen our next destination.
Oh, yes. I guess you guys weren't there for that conversation, were you?
No, we were not.
Oh, it was a floating island in which, well, Abe, would you like to describe it or would you like me to?
Feel free. I'm going to go get some snacks.
Snacks for the road. There's an island in which it's believed to be a ancient Colosseum in which we may be able to find one of our stones we're seeking out. There's a tribe of Goliaths that inhabit the lands that have been kind of pushed out by a horde of hobgoblins.
Army. I'll just say it in the background.
I'm sorry, an army?
Yes. Now
We they're just hobgoblins.
we have an ancient cod piece of
There's
the warriors. We'll pull it out.
there's
Which
6
you'll
of
be able
us.
to offer as a offering. You do not know the numbers of the Goliaths, and if we were to able to bring this as an offering, and they were able to assist us,
I'm going to tilt my head inquisitively at Embro and ask why that would be considered a great offering to the Goliaths there.
Yeah, it's kind of stinky.
well,
I'm gonna stop breathing.
according to what Abe's told me, this is the cod piece of a renowned warrior of the tribe.
Tuli, do you say that it's kind of stinky?
Yeah.
Okay, I don't smell anything.
You know, most things that are smelly because they have a really great story to them. Smells have history.
I
Go.
I don't know if that's true, pal.
From what I just gathered, a really great warrior wore this in battle, and it smells because of all the sweat and blood from his fights. That's cool.
I'm gonna look at it and just go, is that a cod piece?
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, it seems like a good offering.
It's an ancient warrior's cod piece.
So
Great.
if we're
Perfect.
seeking out the stone, it seems like our best option if this really does contain one of the said stones.
I'm gonna lead over to Kel and just be like, I stopped breathing. It's pretty bad.
Man, I'm glad that I can't smell things.
Yeah, I think I should not breathe more often.
Kind of reminds me of my brother.
Oh.
I'm gonna sniff it and go.
Oddly,
yeah,
that's
reminds
true.
me of your brother too. What? I've been in a bunch of battles with his brother. What do you want from me?
Unfortunately, I have as well.
So at this point, I would turn to Abe. Go, do you believe that this would be an acceptable offering to get the Goliaths to assist us?
Well, I mean, the guy that sold it to me seemed to be on the level. So sure. I mean, what's the worst that could happen?
I mean, they could kill us, but it's
Yeah.
worth a shot.
Well, they're just Goliaths. They're a friendly bunch. As long as you stay out of sight.
Yeah. I don't know about friendly, but
Okay, well, let me put it to you this way. We, you, us, and your pufferys are less of a threat than the army of hobgoblins there currently. So I don't know. I mean, basically, we just need to get the approval of the Goliaths, which, I mean, they're Goliaths. No offense, but it doesn't take a lot of words to get past a Goliath typically.
None taken.
I get along famously with Goliaths. We're gonna be just fine.
So how far is this floating island that we would need to travel to?
2 to 3 days by air, 6 to 8 by sea.
Wait, it is floating, right? That wasn't something I was just picturing with the airships.
It is not float. It's floating in the water, technically. Yes.
Yeah, that's
So yes, but no.
And you do know of an airship that would be able to carry us there?
I do.
Excellent. I would look at the group. We should perhaps plan to travel there.
Let's
I'm
So
do
I
always
it.
know
up for an
the, I
airship.
know the ship's captain. It's usually about 120 gold per person. I could probably talk him down to about 100
about 100 total.
each.
You know,
100 each.
Is there any non-airships?
how do we feel about being stowaways?
Well, wait. I thought you were a group of adventurers. How
We
much money do you have?
are brand
Just
new
got started.
adventurers. We've just set out from our homeland and do not have quite that level of funds.
I may or
You
may
showed up
not
to
just
my
spend a
house
lot of
with a
money.
bag full of plushies. Like, wait, are you just not very good with money?
I may or may not have spent a lot of money on some very cute, fluffy friends. Okay.
The one I got was not expensive.
I mean, I'm not here to judge. You do with your earnings whatever you do, but you probably should save enough for travel.
I have 5 gold.
Tell you what, I will see. I know some people. I might be able to get a loan for us. So it's, if I can get a discount, that's 500 gold for the group. Obviously, I'm not going to make you pay for me.
So how much would it cost for us to travel by sea?
There's
A lot of time, and yeah, I'm not sure. The sea captains they're a salty bunch.
I mean, fair.
That's a good one.
They are on the ocean.
Cal, did you hear that? Salty bunch. That was a great one.
I did hear that, pal.
The best thing this man's ever said.
Just store that one for later. How about that?
I'm already writing it down.
You can include that in your next song.
I'm already pulling out my guitar. Oh, I have an idea of how we can make the money. I'll just go into town and start a concert, and people will pay me to listen to it because I'm freaking awesome on the guitar, and we'll have all the money.
Perhaps there's other ways that we could find the funds.
Yeah, busking is maybe not the best idea.
What time of day is it right now?
It's mornings. Oh, it's probably closer to midday now.
Yeah, I'm already planning to go to the bar tonight and put on a concert. So we make.
Cal would ruffle their wings and just like very kindly be like, "Pal, perhaps we should look at other options. Your talents could help us elsewhere right now. I do believe that busking is not the best idea at a bar. It might not help us best in the short term, perhaps in the long term, but not in the short term."
Should Attenborough and I go beat someone up? Is that the talent that you're talking about? We get the money that way.
No, I think we should just like maybe brainstorm a little bit first before we immediately run to singing in a bar.
Yeah, the brainstorming is not one of my talents. So
Well,
all right.
Our new friend here who does seem to have some knowledge of city and the travel and transport options.
I will just say this. This is a port town. We get a lot of very talented folk that travel through here. And if they prove not to be entertaining enough, they usually end up hanging. It's not really the best way to make money. I say this having graduated bard colleges, so
Perhaps there is some sort of
I've
short-term work.
offered you a loan.
Yes.
That's the easiest method, but if you would like to go out and travel and collect and purchase and sell and come back to me at any time, that is perfectly fine.
We could perhaps do the loan. Are there other options for like if we were to work for our passage as well? Potentially.
Are you skilled in ways to operate an airship or a seafaring vessel?
I mean, I kind of look at the group and go, we have skills. I personally, I kind of like ruffle my wings, go, I don't really ever use an airship.
At this point, I'll be like, Samson, no, don't say it, don't say it. And then one of the crows will be like, crow's nest, crow's nest.
Just kind of look over and go, I mean, I wouldn't be opposed. Be like a standard sentry duty I've done previously, but we do have skills that I don't know if they could translate, perhaps to at least lower the price of our passage.
I'm good at
That
cooking
would
stuff.
for sure be up to the captains of said ships. Maybe they would be willing. They get that question a lot, but I don't know what kind of.
Well, then let's go find us an airship. And I'm just going to start walking out the door.
Okay. Shall
Okay.
we?
That does seem like the best option.
What about the mirror that's still in the hut?
We should probably take that with us.
mean-
Abe, are you wearing like the contraption that you made for the mirror?
No, I'm still working on it. I'm gathering still.
Okay.
The hut. I mean, I guess we can wait for him to finish his containment apparatus.
How long does the hut last again? 8 hours?
8 hours.
So, shall we meet back here in, say, 6 hours to ensure that the hut does not leave? Abe, if you are all right with us leaving the mirror within the hut until that.
Absolutely. You may leave, and I will keep the mirror here safe.
Just kind of narrow my eyes at you. Suddenly not very good this house.
Okay. So it doesn't take you much longer to finish doing it. If you want to make it take longer, you can. But you're about done making it, and you think that it will handle pretty well.
Yeah, no, I kind of want them to go out on their own. I want to go over to the tower and do a little more research before they get back.
Okay.
I'll keep everything locked up well, but yeah, basically once they're all gone, I'm going to leave too.
So point to note, I was letting you get away with it because it was in your house. But technically, if you leave Liamon's tiny hut, since you cast the spell, it goes away.
Yeah.
True.
But they
I
wouldn't
wasn't planning on
necessarily
leaving.
know that.
I was going to go in and get the mirror and put it somewhere.
Okay, perfect. Okay, so he kind of ushers you all out, and following Pal, you agree to meet back here at 6? Or 6 hours later, about?
And 6 hours later, yep.
So we had rested and then we came to meet Abe, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
You had breakfast, and then you went to Abe.
So we're rested right now.
Yeah, you cast one spell at Embror. You cast Protection from Good and Evil.
Mm-hmm.
But other than that, you guys are good. Okay, so Abe's gonna wait till you all leave and then sneak over to the archive and get some information. Where were the rest of you gonna go?
So we're gonna head and go try to find an airship, right?
Yeah. And Abe had said that there was one called the Moonrise specifically that he was thinking of. So,
So Abe, do you know the guy who owns the Moonrise?
We're on a we can introduce ourselves basis.
okay.
So if I were to like mention your name, it might help us.
So we're just gonna name drop you. Is basically what's happening. We probably should have brought Abe with us.
I guess we're gonna find out what his name value is because we're
Okay.
So I am going to find an airship. I assume Kel is coming with me.
I am following you very closely. I am very concerned you're about to start busking on the street, so
I just want to check real quick. You guys do what you want to do, but you already have it set up for an airship
Okay.
with Abe, it sounds like.
Okay.
But you're planning on going and name dropping him to get the airship before going to get supplies to go on the journey?
I think we were going to go see if we could get a cheaper price. For
yeah, I think
offering.
we hadn't fully set it up with Abe yet because part of it was giving him the mirror as
Keeping
payment.
in mind, Ed, I did mention to them the 120 gold price and then the 100 gold price, and I know full well that the price is 80 gold per person. So when they mention the price, there might be a problem.
I got you covered. Don't worry. So you,
Because we didn't confirm anything with Abe that
Yeah.
was going to be the plan,
Yep.
considering he was asking for part of the mirror to be part of the payment.
okay. So you're going to the Moonrise then.
Yes.
Okay. So going.
Anybody else is everyone coming with us, or is it just me and Pal?
I'm going.
Okay.
Everybody but Abe.
Yep.
So the five of you travel over. It takes you about an hour's time to get there. You have to go outside of the town a little bit, opposite direction of where you came in. There is a landing area. There are a few airships over here, and there is one that is just it's not the biggest one here, but it is the prettiest one for sure. It is fully decked out with silvers, golds, fine wood. The balloon part up top is black, but it is filled with sparkly like silver filigree like throughout it so that it looks like stars on the top. And as you start approaching the ships, that one on the side of it, and beautiful writing in silver on it, it says the Moonrise.
That's a cool looking ship.
Fancy.
Yes, it is.
And you
I
see
mean,
some.
I would like to glance around at any of the other ships.
Okay.
Are there any that look slightly more affordable?
Hmm.
Yeah, there are. There are a couple that are smaller. There are a couple that look really basic, but look like just straight cargo ships.
Okay.
You can kind of ask around.
I would at this point look just like to Pal and be like, so are we going for the fancy ship then?
Yeah. We are the strike force. We travel in style.
I just heave a big sigh. Hey, let's go find the captain.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Would I, coming from where I come from, have any familiarity with airships?
Some.
Okay. Would I be able to tell, like, the quality of this ship versus the others, other than the flashiness of it?
Give me. I'd say for this, give me just an intelligence check
Cool.
to see the like makeup
Yep.
of the ship.
You're super smart. You got this.
Super smart. Yep. Nope. This fancy. This is probably a good one.
That is a fancy, pretty ship.
I
It's
knew
the
it.
best one. By far the best one.
Definitely
And
that one.
We are elite adventurers, and we deserve the best. We're getting this ship.
Okay. So you're heading to that one. Kel, you're going to ask around at the other ones?
No, I'm gonna follow Pal, but I'm kind of gonna roll my eyes when he says that. I don't trust leaving Pal alone at this point.
Let's go find the captain.
After speaking to this captain, I will probably try to look around, but like for right now, I'm gonna follow Pal.
Okay, so you start walking up, and everybody give me a perception check as you're walking up.
What was the name of the island we need to go to? Did Ettenborough say?
Nobody ever asked.
Yeah, I got a name.
Love that.
That was not my fault.
Ettenborough, you kind of got something about Falar
that's right.
with Goliaths, but that's
so
all.
Ettenborough, as we're walking up to this ship, I would probably kind of fall back and be like, "Hey, Ettenborough, what was the name of that island again?"
Falafel.
Falafel. Okay.
What was the check? Perception?
Yeah, everybody give me a perception check as you're walking up.
I got an
18.
8.
16.
19.
10. I have a
Good.
class of 17, if that counts for anything.
Okay. So, actually, none of you noticed this. So you're walking up to approach, and then you hear a whistle come from the top. And as you kind of look around, at the top, kind of like hanging from ropes up on one of the masts, kind of going up before the balloon part, there is a human-looking man, younger in age, just kind of like dangling there. Looks like he has full control of the ropes and everything, but kind of hanging there. And he goes, "You're an odd-looking bunch. What you coming here for?"
I'm sorry, aren't you hanging by ropes? You saying we look odd?
I'm doing my job. What are you doing?
We're here to look for passage on your beautiful ship to an island that has some hobgoblins and a whole bunch of other stuff.
Maybe we don't lead with that.
Yeah.
Cool. Hobgoblins. That sounds exciting. Why?
So we're looking for passage to an island called and I kind of glance at Ettenborough and go, "Falafel?"
The island of Falafel. Yeah, we go there regularly. Yeah, we could definitely scout that out. That's going to be about 400 each.
So we do have who are you? Actually, we're looking to speak to your captain, if possible. We do know.
You don't think I am the captain of the ship?
I'm sorry, you are hanging from ropes right now. I'm not really sure.
That's fair. I'm definitely not. And if you thought I was, there would be an issue.
I mean, why couldn't you be the captain?
Fair.
Go challenge him for his job right now. You could be the captain right now.
Yeah, fuck that.
Sir, could we please speak with your captain? We
I
are.
haven't been called sir in a while. That's a good one. Sorry, what? You wanted to see the captain?
We would like to see the captain.
He goes, hold on. And he starts like climbing up. And then this really annoying, like whirling, like woo sound goes. And then a door slams open like near the top. And you hear a voice go, "Stop! We've gone over this. That is not how you call me." What? And he goes, "Hey, Captain North Star, we got some people that would like to go to a falafel island with hobgoblins and stuff. Do you want to take them?"
And Goliaths.
And Goliaths. Yeah, cool. They didn't tell me that part.
That's kind of the best part.
So then this figure walks over and he looks over the side and looks down at all of you. And you see this beautiful mane of fur going down that's like braided through, but very well taken care of. Golden mane, lion-like tabaxi that is in very fine naval clothing, and he kind of like looks over and somebody looking to board passage, find adventure, sail the skies.
Yep, that's us.
Yes, sir.
All that stuff. Yeah.
That would be our group.
Exciting.
We were told of your ship by Abe, who works with the archivists.
Oh, Abe. You know Abe, huh?
Yes, he told us that your ship would be the best to grant us passage to this island.
He spoke very highly of you.
I very much appreciate that from him. We have done work together in the past. So yeah, is he coming with you? He usually does when he sends people on these adventures.
Yes, he will be. We wanted to speak with you though first. He did say that passage would cost a certain amount. We were wondering if perhaps we could also exchange labor for our passage cost as well.
Oh, and the young man that you were talking with before, yeah, you guys can do my job.
I was thinking I could lend myself my talents as a chef. I'm actually an excellent cook.
He's a very good chef.
A Palpup.
I appreciate that, but I'm pretty sure if I were to do that, Cade would be very unhappy with me. He is a fine chef, which you will enjoy his food if you join us on an expedition. So Abe said he could get you a price. We have worked in the past. What was the price he told you? It's probably the discounted price.
He did tell us it would be 100 gold per person.
100 gold per person. Yeah, that is the normal discount price that I've been giving Abe. It's normally 200 a person.
Can we do an insight check on this guy?
Yeah. Give me,
200.
everybody that wants to give me a insight check.
God, I'm not rolling anything else tonight. I
this
refuse.
guy is gone.
I have rolled all of mine, and they've all sucked except for the first roll.
I rolled a dirty 20.
10.
21.
Okay. Okay. So Kel, Thule, and Sonora. He's giving you a very good price. Pal and Ettenbrough, he seems like he's just going with whatever Abe told you.
So if Abe hadn't given you that price, if he hadn't told us that, what would the price have been?
Oh, if you were with Abe, it would be 200 a person.
Well, hold on, pal. Maybe we should make our way down towards these other ships here just to see what kind of offers they're going to make.
That's a good idea, Ettenborough. There are a lot of other ships. I do believe that we might be able to find a better deal, perhaps.
Where were you going?
The
The island of falafel.
the island of falafel.
The island of falafel. I've never heard of it. Good luck. And he just turns and he walks back in.
And I just turn and stare at Ettenborough and go, "Are you sure that was the name?"
I would like to do a persuasion check to say, well, he's really missing out. He's really going to miss out on being part of this legendary story we're doing right now. I mean, when we save the world, this guy's going to miss being part of the story.
So you hear a little bit of a chuckle from up top, and the younger man that you've been talking to, he just kind of goes, he really can't hear you if you're trying to guilt trip him. He's gone.
I'm going to say, well, you should probably go talk to your boss because he's missing a big opportunity. Can I make a persuasion check?
You can, yep.
Imagine the treasure in the ruins that we'll be finding.
That's a dirty 20.
He's like, that does sound really cool, and that would be really cool for us to go on. I'm also like lowest on the totem pole. Like, my opinion doesn't matter.
So then go talk to someone whose opinion he does care about and convince them.
That seems like a lot more work that I don't want to do.
Appears to me you're not doing any work. You're just sitting here hackling us.
That's work. That's serious work. Like, I work my craft, man.
He's right. He is actually really good at what he's doing right now.
Yeah, you're doing a very good job.
Thank you. I appreciate you. Huh?
I would like to go. I'm marching down back to the airships. I'm going to go find another ship that looks reputable. That seems not like a cargo ship necessarily, but not like not something that just looks like it's a pleasure ship that's just like going cruising around. Something that looks like it will be able to take us where we need to go.
Okay. You come over to one. It's called the Rainy Storm.
Cool.
And it's kind of a medium-sized ship. It's a little smaller than the Moonrise. You start there's a lot of people like running back and forth, kind of asking like you did. The captain comes out. This is a human woman. She walks out and goes, looking to buy a passage? Where are you looking to go?
Yes, ma'am. And I kind of like sketch like a small bow to her too, just being very respectful. So we are looking for me and my friends are looking for passage. There is an island, I believe, that is a 2 to 3 day journey from here. That is inhabited by Goliaths and potentially hobgoblins. And has a name that sounds something like falafel. I'm not sure that I caught the name correctly, though.
She thinks about it for a minute, and she goes, well, what you're describing sounds like the island of DeSille.
God damn it.
There's a
Very
town.
close.
There's a town. The only town on it is called Falar. So
Oh, that's what it was.
Oh yeah, yep, that one. That's
Um,
what it was.
Solar. Does there happen to be ruins on that island?
Yeah.
What we are seeking.
Okay, that's nice. I'm not going there.
Okay, understood. Thank you. Thank you very much for giving me the correct information about what that place is called, though.
Yeah.
I do appreciate it greatly.
It's good to keep in mind if you're traveling somewhere to know the name
Yes, I was
of it.
given incorrect information from one of my friends. And next time I will confirm with him the name of the location. Now, again, thank you very much for your time. I'm very sorry to be taking up so much of it. But are you just not traveling in that direction, or is there a reason that you will not take your ship there?
Probably the army of bugbears.
It's hobgoblins usually, but
Yeah.
there's that. There's also giant beasts there. The skies are terrible. Most people don't go there. The only ships that do so, the Goliaths, do fruit trade out of there.
Okay.
And the reason it's the Goliaths is because they're the only ones that want to risk that.
Okay.
Report here to bring the fruit, or
Yeah, but there's certain ships that go and certain crazy fuckers that will actually do that.
What if I were to tell you that if you took us,
you
would be part of a very legendary story? We're a great grand group of adventurers, and you could really etch your name in history.
I mean, I feel fairly confident as a sky captain in my own adventures and story, and taking a group of people to die somewhere doesn't really aid me in any way.
There are lots of stories where people die.
I would kind of just like shove Pal away at this point, be like, "Thank you very much, ma'am, for your help. I really do appreciate it." And just like, "Come on, Pal, let's go. Come on."
All these people are going to be really sorry when they're not part of our legend. Is all I'm saying.
You know what? That's their problem. Come on, we're gonna leave now.
Being, I would ask, do you know where these Goliaths would dock? Is it? Have you heard of them being here now?
Well, it's usually just cargo ships that come back, or any ship that's in the area that's willing to stop will pick stuff up, and usually a Goliath will go with to make sure that the goods get to where they're going, and then they'll head back on the next adventure that's going that way.
Okay. Thank you for your time, miss.
Anytime. Good luck. He walks back on.
Maybe we could try to find one of those ships.
It seems like we're stuck paying the 100 gold, guys.
I have a crazy idea.
I have 15 gold.
What's your crazy idea, Edinburgh?
Well, everybody can go inside of the lamp, correct?
No.
Just two.
Oh.
Yes.
However, that is $100 less.
Oh my god.
It's good thinking.
I was going to say, well, we're not even there yet, so never mind.
What about Abe's hut?
That seems more stationary and
Yeah,
like it
it's
can't.
not mobile, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, conceal.
What?
We might just have to go speak to Abe about taking out this loan.
What about your shell? Can someone hide in there?
If
Our gods gave us more money.
I have a slight idea that might not work. If we can find something, see how much would it cost? We're not paying for Abe, so 500 gold. If we could find something that was like 250 gold, I could try to upsell it to someone.
Okay, do we have anything?
I could even maybe buy it for less than that if we had like 125 gold. We could buy something for 250 gold and then upsell it for 500 gold. It would be
I
complicated.
do think perhaps we should maybe just speak with Abe again, and we might just have to give him the mirror.
He did offer a loan. I know we all have trust issues here. That's why I've been trying to not take the loan.
But
I mean, we have already left the mirror with him.
this is true. The artifacts do seem to be the most important thing, and we do not believe at this moment that the mirror is one of the things that could be harming our prince and princess. And we must focus on our goal, which is to protect our kingdom and our prince and princess.
But the thing in the mirror was working with the people who kidnapped her in the first place, if not their boss or something.
Perhaps
I would like to draw Thule aside.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Like, yes, but we don't want to make a deal with that thing.
Yeah.
Right?
No.
Like, it did offer me a deal. I don't know if it offered you a deal.
Well, it said that I could maybe see its face when I was worthy. I don't want to see its face or be worthy of it.
Yes. No, I don't really particularly think that's the best idea either. But it did also kind of seem like it might be able to help us, but it was kind of sketchy. I don't necessarily know it's the best idea.
There are other, like, I trust other very powerful creatures way more than I trust that thing. There's a reason it's in a mirror.
Do you think that we should just give it to Abe? If you do think that, I will defer to that.
I would personally not want to have it with us, but it would be nice to know who does have it.
This is true. And if he's willing to help us pay for our passage on an airship to get the things that we do need, perhaps the mirror is a good option to trade.
We could always ask if we could, like, if we need to, if we could come back and look at it for some reason.
This is true. And, he is going to come with us on this journey. So,
we will have the mirror with us the whole time.
Yeah.
As this sidebar is happening, I would talk to Pal and Sonora and be like, I have another idea. Maybe what we could do is find a way to reach out to the crown and ask for their assistance monetarily to be able to pay for our passage, to be able to protect this.
That's a great idea.
Cap on. We actually know people with money. I don't know why we didn't think of that.
Yeah.
The question is, how do we reach them?
We could, I guess we could try to find Abe again, but he's kind of off doing his own thing. But we don't know that for sure, though, because he waited till after we left.
Yep.
We think that he's just still in his house.
Perhaps Abe would have some form of being able to reach out and communicate to get that assistance.
Okay. Levi, how long would Abe be at the archive?
I probably would have just, because I've already spent a gazillion hours in the place, so I probably would have just went to grab any information that I just kind of wanted to refresh. So however long it takes to get into the tower, get to the bookshelves that I would need, flirt with the librarian, and leave.
Okay. You would be back then by the time they all arrive back. So were you just going straight back to Abe, the rest of you?
I think so.
After you guys would have your sidebar, I would bring you back too.
I think after the little sidebar, I would come back to the group and be like, so Abe did offer for the mirror to act as partial payment for him to assist us in gaining passage on one of these ships. I am thinking that perhaps this might be the best option. What are your guys' thoughts?
I mean, the king wants his son's princess to be back at all costs, and some costs are going to cost gold. So perhaps we find a way to get a hold of him to be able to help pay for passage to this island.
I would like fluff my feathers in slight embarrassment and be like, you know what? I did not even think of that. That's an excellent thought.
I mean, like, we're working for him right now. He kind of owes us a lot of money now, right?
This is very true. Do you guys have an idea of how to get hold of him?
I think Abe if he can't help us, then somebody he would know, I would think, would be able to do some kind of arcane magic.
Edinburgh, why don't you lead the way on this then? I think that's
Okay.
On the way back through the town, I'll be just strumming on my guitar. Captain Edinburgh gonna save the day. He's gonna tell the king to give us our pay.
Yeah, I am.
Okay. So what was the plan? You're going to...
Gonna go talk to Abe to see if there's any way that he would be able to reach out to the king, or...
Okay. So you go back to his house. Do you knock on the door?
Yeah.
You hear the knocking, Abe. You've just gotten back, and you're kind of like, oh.
What? If I put the mirror anywhere, yeah, I probably would have put it away before I left. Okay, yeah, let's put it away. I'm gonna kind of like look out the window to see approximately where the sun is in the sky, and then look through the peephole. Yes.
Abe, open up.
I thought we were meeting back here in 6 hours. I was about to take a nap. What do you want?
Oh, do you have a way to communicate to people across distances?
Yeah. I
Can you help us do such?
We can pay you money if you let us talk to someone.
Okay. Well, who do you want to talk to?
Our king.
Well, wait, come on in. That's fine. Wait, I open the door.
As we're in, like yelling through the door.
As we walk in, I would like to confirm the location of the mirror if the hut is still existing.
Hut's gone.
Hut's gone. I immediately look at Abe and go, "Where the fuck is the mirror?"
It's in a box with a bunch of padlocks. Why?
Just making sure it's somewhere safe.
Safe is somewhere.
Okay.
It's in a box with a padlock. Is it also on a dock?
There's a lot of boxes with padlocks in this house, sir.
It's stuffed with socks.
I just kind of like step back and go, okay, as long as it's safe. Just
Okay, so you want me to pass a message on from a long distance to someone. What is this message and who is this person?
Well, it's the king of our country. And we are looking for, instead of pulling a loan to somebody that we don't know, we wanted to reach out to the crown that we work for to see if they would be willing to aid us.
Yeah, like an advance on our paycheck.
Yeah, he owes us a little money right now.
Because at all costs, he wants his son's wife back.
Okay, and what is his name?
she is back. We just need to find her artifact.
Her artifact, excuse me.
What is this person's name?
King Adonis.
King Adonis. Okay.
Look who took notes.
Let me see what I can do. I'm gonna go pick up my instrument and walk out on the front porch and play a few tunes.
Okay.
And then I'm going to yell as loudly as I possibly can. King Adonis, your servants require your assistance financially at this time.
I watch out into the sky.
And I'll walk back in and be like,
into my shell when I hear bellowing.
I've done the best that I can. Is there anything else I can do?
You know anybody who can magically do so?
That was a great troll. see, most of the time I don't like you, but then you do stuff like that, and it's great.
Yeah, there's people that take letters. I think there's a dude
What
that
about
lives with
your
a bunch of
ravens?
pigeons somewhere that I think 4 or 5 out of 100 make it to their destination.
What about your ravens?
I think we're just gonna have to take this
What
loan
about
and try to pay it
ravens?
back later,
Do
guys.
they carry messages?
Yeah, but I can't trust them to leave this house and not say something they shouldn't.
We could perhaps take the loan and then ask the king later to assist us in paying it back.
That's what we're gonna have to do, I think.
I think that might be our best bet. I do believe we should probably move along here and not linger too long in reaching the town of Falar. And I just like stared at it. And I say that.
Yeah, I don't know where you got falafel from.
Yeah, Kel, you were way off.
Just glare at
Well-
Pal.
Well, with that, and with finally deciding to take the loan from Abe, after all of this, we're gonna go ahead and pick up there next time on Into the Elements.
Hey, this could have been a shopping episode.
All I'm saying is that we easily could have tried to make that price lower.
Also, I'm pretty sure earlier in the campaign, I gave you guys a decent amount of money. I don't think you wrote it down.
I have that. I only have a group fund. Because I took the group fund at one point, and it's not a lot.
Mm-hmm.
I have 17 gold, not 100.
I have like a personal like 15, and then I have another like maybe 15 in our group fund.
Yeah.
Well,
Okay.
not to mention the fact that I was going to pay them to go on this adventure, so this has all worked out really well.
I think you gave us a bunch of gemstones, but I don't know if someone did.
All right.
I do have a couple gems, but
Well. Anyway, thank you guys for joining us on Into the Elements. If you'd like to reach out to us and say how much you like the episode or how silly we are for making things way more difficult than they need to be, you can reach out to us on Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram. Just search The Nerdy Niche, and we will talk to you guys next time. Until then, keep it nerdy out there.
bye.
Bye, everybody.
Good night, friends.